Okay, Eduardo, you start the presentation in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you here in Athens and in the computer, of course. We are very happy to do this. This is the second EduPlat's Congress, a Congress where we are going to present a gamification. So here in Athens, we have Greek team, Portuguese team, Italian team, Spanish team. So we are very happy to share this presentation, this Congress during 2-3 days. And you know that EduPlat is Bienestar is the principal organization, but there are 4 organizations, I think, 3-4 organizations. And the final objective, we can say, is to share pedagogical resources and between teachers. So I think this is a very, very beautiful project where we are going to learn a lot. And we are very happy to start now with the Congress. So I don't know if someone would like to start. I don't know, Francesco, Alessandra, perhaps, because I know you. Perhaps, Alexandra, would you like to start?
Okay, let me start because Eduardo is going a very, very, very fast presentation. Hello, everyone. I'm Alvaro. Okay, very, very important, as well as getting to know a little bit more for those of you who don't know about the EduPlat project, it's important to know what's going to happen in this Congress. Okay, first of all, it's important that this Congress is going to be translated in whatever language you want. And you can see the link in the website, but you can also see now in the chat that is in the Zoom for those of you who have premium access. And if someone can put it also in the, well, I'll do that. I'll do that myself, multitasking, in the YouTube. Okay, that means that anyone that is struggling to understand a little bit of what we're saying in English can also check what we're saying in whatever language they choose. Okay. I'm going to say the same thing in Spanish, and I would like to Alessandra to say the same thing in Portuguese, and then someone from Italy, maybe Francesco, in Italian, and someone from the Greek team in Greek, yeah? Para los que no entienden bien el inglés, os recuerdo que hay una página web donde podéis encontrar todo lo que se va a decir en este congreso en el idioma que elijáis, que podrá ser, por supuesto, el castellano, y la tenéis ahí, es translate.it, y el código es JPRZC. Alessandra, if you could say the same thing in Portuguese, please. It's just a matter of like just saying to the Portuguese speakers that might not understand everything in English, that they can actually follow it all in Portuguese if they wish.
Ok. Muito bom dia a todos. Bem-vindos a mais um congresso internacional do projeto Erasmus EduPlat. Estamos a transmitir a partir da Grécia, onde os oradores dos diferentes países, Portugal, Espanha, Itália e Grécia, irão apresentar os seus recursos para gamificação no ensino. Este congresso está a ser apresentado ou está a ser transmitido no canal do YouTube da EduPlat. Aqueles que estão a assistir a partir desta reunião Zoom podem aceder a uma aplicação que está no chat da reunião, onde poderão traduzir aquilo que vai sendo apresentado para a sua própria língua, neste caso para o português. Portanto, basta clicarem no link e acederem à aplicação. Muito obrigada a todos e até já.
Muito obrigado, Alessandra. Francesco, is it okay if you say the same in Italian?
Sì, volevamo salutare tutti i partecipanti a questo nuovo incontro che viene trasmesso dalla Grecia, ecco, con un orario un po' ovviamente diverso dal nostro in base al fuso orario. Questa è la prosecuzione del primo incontro, quindi siamo veramente lieti di avervi tra di noi, e dopo questo incontro proseguirà con un incontro sulle rispettive chat che verranno realizzate nelle nostre rispettive lingue.
È importante questa qua, anche potete, se volete, avere la traduzione in italiano. Basta seguire il link che è scritto sul chat, sia del Zoom che in YouTube, translate.it, e con il codice che c'è scritto là. Ok? Someone from Team Greece, if you can just say, just mention that if anyone is struggling to understand in English, they can just say, they can just get it translated.
Yes, of course. Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Καλησπέρα σας. Σήμερα έχουμε έρθει εδώ για τις 2 μέρες του συνεδρίου του Ευρωπαϊκού Έργου EduPlat, το οποίο έχει ως θεματική τη δημιουργία μιας πλατφόρμας για την ανταλλαγή εκπαιδευτικών resources ανάμεσα στους καθηγητές και στους δασκάλους. Στο chat όλοι έχετε την ευκαιρία να βρείτε σύνδεσμο. Όσοι από εσάς δεν έχετε ευκολία με την αγγλική γλώσσα, να μπορέσετε να πάρετε όλο το κείμενο σε αυτόματη μετάφραση στα ελληνικά. Σας ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ για σήμερα και για τη συμμετοχή σας και ελπίζουμε να σας αρέσουν όλα τα πράγματα που θα σας παρουσιάσουμε σήμερα. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ευχαριστώ. So you can now see in the screen something that you probably have seen already in the past, the website for EduPlat. Everything about the EduPlat project is written in that website in the different languages that you can just access. And also you can read everything you need about this whole set of congresses. The events, the objectives, the program, very important. We're now at this stage, we are now doing this Congress in Athens, educational resources and innovative practices for gamification. Remember that you can check all the detailed information about this Congress, but eventually will be the same about the others. When you click here, before I do so, remember that we have another Congress in Italy in April, and eventually we have another Congress in May. So if you haven't signed for that, and you have signed for this one, you don't need to change your registration. All that you need to do is just follow our social media, and eventually you will get reminders for when this is happening. And you will be, you will have access in the same way as you've done for this one. So say, for example, if we go here for the detailed information about this Congress, what's going to happen within the times, remember that all the times are set in Athens. So that is GMT +2 is 10:18 in Athens now. So we started a few minutes ago, and with this introduction, and very, very soon we're going to go on to the first roundtable. And remember, just if you followed us in the Congress in Portugal, it's very, very simple the way we're going to work. There is going to be different roundtables. In each roundtable, there are going to be a few presenters, about 4 presenters. They are all going to be presenting very, very briefly one educational resource in what we call an elevator pitch. That means between 1 to 3 minutes ideal. If some, they really, really need to take up to 5 minutes to present, that will be okay. But if not, eventually we'll have to reduce it. After each of the presentations in the round table, we will have questions from, first from the presenter, that in this case will be Eduardo, will be writing some questions to ask the presenters. And I advise you all to do the same, especially if you have access to the Zoom, because you're either speaker or you have premium access, because that way we can ask teachers that are presenting a few questions and give them the opportunity to explain a little bit better their educational resources. Okay, and then after the presenter and people in the roundtable have asked the questions, then it will be the turn to answer questions about anyone that might be posting either in the chat, in the Zoom chat, in the YouTube chat, or also in the social media. We are going to be busy in the different countries searching for your posts and your comments in the social media. We will be commenting only on the ones that we find the most important. Remember to tag us. If you're writing, and depending on the language that you're writing your comment or your question with, tag one of the networks for the EduPlat. As you know, we have 5 different main networks, one in English, one in Portuguese, one in Greek, one in Italian, and one in Spanish. So you can write your questions and your comments in any language, but ideally tagging at least the appropriate social media. And then eventually, once we finish that, there will be, hopefully will be a few minutes before 12, that will give us some time for the next, to get ready for the next session. And remember that at 12, that means midday in Athens, so that will be 11 in Spain or in Italy and 10 a.m. in Portugal, and obviously other times in wherever countries you are. There will be another roundtable, and this roundtable will be in different languages. So there's going to be 5 different roundtables in 5 different languages: English, Portuguese, Greek, Italian, Spanish. So how do you access those roundtables? Remember, all the links to connect are here. I'm going to be, this is all in the website, and you can read this in whatever language. Oopsie, sorry. It went back to another page. Okay, so to EduPlat, and we're back into EduPlat. Okay, here. Okay, so all that you have to do is click on whatever language you want to have it, and then when you click here, you can just click on where it says Skype channel in English. If you are in the Portuguese website, you will have the link to the Portuguese Skype channel, and same in Greek, in Italian, or Spanish, or in any language of your choice. Within this, obviously, these 4. The roundtables in English will continue to be using the same link. So if you have a premium access, you will stay here in this Zoom. If you have a different access, you will stay in the YouTube channel. Obviously, that means that you can go from one room to another, especially if you speak a few languages. You can go, say, for example, from the main English channel roundtable to the Portuguese channel. Have a look if you can understand what they're saying, and then eventually pop in the Italian, the Greek, or the Spanish roundtables. Now, obviously, because doing these simultaneously is going to be very difficult, all the roundtables are going to be recorded. So if, say, for example, you want to attend, let's say, the Italian roundtable at noon, all they have to do is go to the Italian website, click on the Skype channel, go there, and then later, maybe tomorrow, maybe whenever you want, within the next 30 days, you will have the recordings available to watch. So you will be able eventually to watch the recordings in whatever language you prefer, and that way get access to different educational resources, because at the end of the day, in each roundtable, they're going to be presenting different educational resources. Okay, so that's very, very important to take into account. And having said that, and since we have only a few minutes to the start of the roundtable, I'm just going to go very, very quickly back to the program with the dates, so that you can see that we're now in January. We have the next Congress in April, the one in May. And if you didn't manage to get the go to some of the presentations in the Portuguese Congress that we had in December. All they have to do is go at the very bottom where it says detailed information, and that will give you access to all the details, and also to the channels that and eventually the videos. All the videos of the main channels will be recorded in the YouTube. Many of you are watching us now live. Some of you might not be able to watch us live, but you know, whenever you wake up, whenever you manage to get some time, it's a good time to get into the and access the presentations. Okay, so after this, I'll give back the word to Eduardo, who might eventually give access to all the different presenters in the roundtable. Okay, back to Athens, Eduardo. If you can get microphone, all yours. Thank you.
Okay, so so we start. For example, with Alexander or Francesco, if you want to start. I don't know, yes, Alexander, for example, with your presentation.
From the team Portugal, I'm not going to be presenting. It is Sophia who is going to do the presentation. So if she wants to start.
Yeah, thank you, Alessandra. Obrigado. Yeah, remember that this presentation is the people that are sitting right next to you, Eduardo. Not the for the people that are online will present online. Now we want to present people that are right there in Athens. So you can give access. It's good to start with Portugal, but give access to whoever is there from Team Portugal. Then we can do the same order. After Portugal, we can have the Greek team, and after the Greek team, we can have the Italian team, and after whoever is representing Spain, that is going to be Sandra. Okay, thank you.
So you start, for example. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So, is doing some. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to present something I recorded because I think it's more easy this way. So let me just.
Obrigado, Sophia. So remember, when you are presenting something that includes audio and you select sharing, remember to share also the audio within your system. Yeah, because otherwise people will be able to see, but not here.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Sophia. I'm a primary school teacher, and today I'm going to explain you how I use Minecraft in my classes. First of all, what is Minecraft? In Minecraft Education Edition, students can create and explore many subjects. Minecraft uses the 6 principles of game-based learning and unleashes creativity and truly engages students in collaboration and problem solving. Can we teach languages, history, math, equity and inclusion, and even social and emotional skills? Yes, we can. In Minecraft, there are a lot of subjects that we can teach. For example, let's try math. Here we have an area and volume world with some exercises. When we teach the children the concept of area, we teach the formula, and it's so difficult to them to understand it because it's too subjective. Here, we can make it real. The same with the volume. They can see the 3 dimensions. So students should write the answers on the nearby chalkboards, as you can see, and take screenshots to document their work, or simply write in their own notebook. Don't you think it's better than just writing the exercise on the board for them to copy and solve it? And like this, we have an infinite number of themes that we can use in Minecraft. You just need to go to the library and search what you want. There's another example. You want something to practice writing. So you can open the shipwreck narrative, and students should observe the details of the shipwreck and take notes on what they see. Outside of the game, each student should write a narrative about how the ship ended up in this condition. In the end, students can return to the game and build it, adding details and evidence to support their narrative. And what if you teach sports? You can use it as well. There's a world with indoor and outdoor sports, where you can find the pros of everyday sports, how it helps in fostering good health, and some details about the different sports. Now I'm going to show you some examples of projects that I did with my 8-year-old students. The lessons about sustainability city. This was a project where students should explore 6 lessons about sustainable living. This is a city where students wander freely as they examine a wide range of issues, including components of sustainable home, managing waste products, responsible forestry, and more. At the end, the students made a PowerPoint and present to the rest of the class. What you can see in here, it's that the lessons are in English, but I teach them how to translate and they can read or use the immersive reader. So it's possible for any ages. The Hour of Code. In this project, they've learned computational thinking with block-based coding to try to escape on a mansion and earn millions of coins. Students had a lot of fun on this adventure, and in the end, they received a certificate, which made them very happy, as you can see. In the creative mode, the students can simply go to an empty world, and they have all the resources and the items available to build something using their imagination. They should build something as close to the real as possible, and in this process, learn about scale, proportion, and space. At the end, the students have to present their work to the class, doing like a walking tour, and sharing about what they created, which allow interaction between students and develops their language skills. Here you can see 2 examples they made: our school and a sustainable house. So as you can see, there's a lot you can do to turn your classes more attractive to the students, where they can learn while they are playing. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Sophia. It's a very interesting presentation about Minecraft. So I don't know if you have some question for Sophia. If you don't have, I have only one question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have some questions for Sophia?
If you don't mind, sorry, for the Eduardo, it's best that we keep going the round table so that the others can present, and then eventually people think about more questions.
Do you use Minecraft? I don't know, Alexander, Francesco, all the partners. Perhaps do you use Minecraft in your lessons?
No, I don't use.
Francesco, Alexander, for example, do you use Minecraft? Did you know this resource?
But I am here to learn from you and to keep everything in store. So as I will use all the resources, or some of the resources at least, that you are showing. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Eduardo, it seems to me that Alvaro was trying to say that probably it's better to listen to all the presentations, and then at the end we will ask
perfect.
All of them questions, so that.
But it's perfect, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
It's perfect. So we continue on. We are going to do, Alvaro, finally 2 Portuguese, 2 Italian, or only 1?
Yeah, remember the idea is that 1 from each country. We're not going to have time for more.
Perfect.
The others in the other round tables.
But it's perfect. So we continue with Spain. Okay. So I'm going to present now. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. 1 moment. Okay. Yes, do you see my screen? Okay, it's perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
So in my case, I'm going to present a Classcraft. If you remember, in Portugal, I present Classcraft in language lessons, okay? And it's a gamification, it's like a video game, we can say. And it's very interesting for the teachers and for the students also. In this case, I'm going to present Classcraft for all subjects, okay? For maths, geography and history, language, of course, French, English, I don't know, okay? So welcome to Classcraft, of course. And I'm going to explain a little bit how Classcraft works, the class journey, Classcraft in action. And I'm going to propose you to use, okay, to use Classcraft. So first of all, how Classcraft works, okay? Do you see, I propose you, this is an email, okay, erasmus+profes@nesohuerto, and this is a password. So this is an address that I have created with my with a colleague of our school, and it's for you. Okay, you can use this mail in order to use Classcraft. Okay, to know how about Classcraft. So I'm going to click here. You can click in my presentation. Okay, because my principal objective is to use. Okay, I would like really to you to know about Classcraft and to use this resource. Okay, so see you the okay, Classcraft is up classcraft.com. Okay, do you see? And I'm going to show you, for example, with one account. I'm going to enter with another account. Okay, do you see? So, for example, with this Google Classcraft Arrobas. If you want in your here or in your houses, you can take the account. Okay. So, for example, this is Paseo de Culture. Okay. First of all, you see the groups, the 1, 2, 3, 4 until 10. Okay. And you can see that we can give to our students some points. Do you see? So here in the luggage, we can say we have a lot of possibilities. For example, we can choose the group. So if we click here, okay, we can choose the player, one player, or the team. So, for example, with a team is funnier than only one person. So, for example, if I have here, I don't know, 10 groups, I can click here, okay? And I can, if I click here, I can have a group 1, 3, 4, 5. So it's the possibility of choose with Classcraft, okay? Other things, we have, this is a battle, okay? So if we click here, do you see? We can create a battle about whatever you want. For example, if you are a maths teacher, you can write here maths battle. I don't know, equations. Okay, so you can choose the boss. Okay, do you imagine that the students love it? Okay, so for example, we can choose this. We can choose, okay, la salud, okay, the health of the boss, okay, the animal. And we continue like this and añade una nueva pregunta. So add a question, okay? So we click here and you see that it's very, very easy. Because, for example, if you want to write the question, it's only to write here. For example, you have to solve this problem about, I don't know, equations, okay? And here you have a link. So do you imagine with a link, we can do whatever you want because it's only to take a website. For example, I'm going to do an example just now, okay? Equations calculator right now. Okay, we take the website, we do the copy paste. Okay, accept. Okay, we come here, copy paste and text to equations. Sorry. Yes. Okay, equations. Examples. Okay, and here like this, and it's very important to open in another window. Okay, insert that. Okay, and like this the answer is well done. Okay, we click here and it's all. Okay, we have a battle. You see, maths battle equations took a start. Okay, the battle. So to start the battle, we click here, siguiente, equipo, team, and we start. Do you see? So it's really interesting. The students love it. Okay, you see, you have to solve this problem about equations. I have created this in 30 seconds. Okay, and we click here, and we have this. Okay, do you imagine if you are a language teacher, maths, geography, and history, whatever you want, very easy, and in 1 minute you have the battle. And you imagine that you have all the students like, no, it's me. I would like to win to the boss. Okay. Okay. So I continue just with my genially. Okay. So how ClassCraft works, we have learned it. I'm going to show you some examples. For example, in biology. Okay. This is my colleague Amaya Landa. And I'm going to show you how ClassCraft works in biology. See you. Okay. Okay, you see ClassCraft, okay, with the points and some presents for, do you see, some Erasmus Plus presents for the student that they have worked well, okay? More examples. Here, for example. Okay, do you see the ClassCraft program, the computer, and do you see Amaya with the book with biology? Okay, the math teacher also it's possible. You see, doing some questions, and you are going to see students with their hands like this. Do you see that? Normally, you have one student with the hand like this, but with ClassCraft, we can have all the students like this because they love to have points, okay? You see the hands? So 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people with the hands like this, okay? Okay, so we continue. Now we are going to see in lengua, okay? Spanish lengua, española. So for example, here. It works, yes. Okay, in another subject, you see? Idoia, language teacher with ClassCraft in order to explain the activity. You see, 5 minutes, because we can have a timer, okay? With ClassCraft, I'm going to show you, it's very, very easy to have a timer. If we come here to the luggage, and this is temporizador, it's a timer. You see, it's very, very easy, 5 minutes. So we are going to do an activity in 10 minutes, only to right here, start. Do you see? And for example, we can say first team who finish is going to obtain 100 points, 1,000 points. Okay. See you. finish. So for example, equipo, you see? And for example, if team 3 is the best, okay? We come here, give points, and we have these points. 1,000, we can choose, okay? You have to know that 1,000 points is one level more. So for example, in our case, we have in France 1 point up to 10 with classcraft. So best team, best person of the class is the 1 point. Second person, 0.8, 8, 7, etc. Okay. So we continue. Okay, so you see, we have with classcraft positive behaviors. Okay, so I'm going to show you another example about geography and history. Okay, and you are going to see that in all subjects the reactions are the same. So they love classcraft, the students. Okay. Okay, you see, this is a battle about history, geography and history. Do you see? Which one provides public goods and service? The state, companies, individuals, and households. Okay, and do you see the students? I advance a little bit. You see, all the students are motivated to react, to answer the question. Do you see? All, 100%. Normally in a class is someone who speaks with the other, but do you see? With classcraft, 100%. It's incredible, this resource, okay? I continue. You see, this is the level 5, level 6, level 7. And this is, they love it. They have some powers. So for example, if they have a lot of levels, level 10, level 8, level 11, level 12, they have some powers. Do you see? The student may choose who is first from something today. So for example, if you are going to demand to the students to know the lesson, for example, if they have a lot of points, they can say no, today no. Not all the times, of course. They can click to the power and they can use this power. The student may be excused from answering a question, you see, or the student may choose to work alone or okay. Now, okay. Okay, the powers, you get to level up to, as I have already said. Classcraft in action, yes. This photo, I love this photo, you see, because it's all the class with the hands like this. This is classcraft, okay? It's the summary. Okay, I'm going to see before finishing my presentation in English, okay? Do you see? So this Burlington English website, okay, is Annabelle with her English students, and same reaction. So we have seen here geography and history, Spanish language, English, okay, a lot of students, and you see same reaction. We have in our screen the questions. Okay, and do you see all 100% of the students try to obtain the points? So imagine it's a success to use this, okay? Okay, and here you can see Bessie, Lana is an example of your class. And it's very important. It's very, very easy to create a classcraft lesson. Why? Because it's Google Classcraft. So if you have Google Classroom with one button, you can click in the button and you can send all the students from Classroom to a Classcraft, okay? So imagine it's very, very easy to do. Okay, and I'm going to show a little bit. You see, you can do statistics, okay, of about your school. You have to know that Classcraft has started in Canada. It's with the students with a lot of problems in a poor zone, okay, a poor school, and with Classcraft they have realized that they are the more and more motivated, and they have the less and less problems, okay, in their school. Okay, do you see a little bit? Points, progress, powers. You can choose, this is incredible, you can choose all the things. So for example, in Classcraft, do you see? You can give, for example, if one student is wonderful, you can say, okay, but your work is wonderful. So 2,000 points, this is the level, okay? And this is the money. There are money, not real money, of course, but with this money, they can buy a creature, a hat, a lot of things that they love. For me, it's not interesting for me, for the teacher, but for the students, they love it, okay? And here you can say, for example, if you are maths teacher, okay, maths champion, okay? Okay, or first one, okay, and you can give to this person. Okay, and they can, this is very interesting for them, as I have told us, okay, customizable characters, they can, do you see? They can change the character, they can personalize, okay? The teams they love, and very important, you have some quests, okay? So I'm going to show you a little bit. Here, you have the missions, the quests, okay? So you can, if you send to the students in classroom your homework, here you can link your classroom work with Classcraft mission. And they also can have some points of 10 points, and it's like a escape room, because if they have completed first mission, they can pass to the other mission, okay? So you imagine that they love it. Okay, do you see a little bit the words? They love the words. And here in my presentation, you can see a story mode, okay? And here you can click, okay? So if you click here, there are a lot of missions with a history, with a, do you see? With these characters, okay? A hero's choice, do you see? How our heroes discover new secrets. You have a history. So they can read the history in English. You can translate to French, to Portuguese, to Spanish, okay? So I'm going to show you, for example, this import, okay? So it's really, really interesting for them. And always is when you are going to public the order, because I would like to know what about, you see? Selecciona una clase, as I have this in Classroom. For example, primero es, okay, I can choose this, importar, okay, is to try to have our students. So it's very easy to use Classcraft, okay? Okay. And you have a video here, okay? You can see the video if you want. I am going to show you only 3 seconds. Okay, do you see? This is Classcraft presentation, is like Hollywood, okay? So you see with the characters, so it's really, really, really interesting. Okay, and see you. It's all. If you want to create a boss battles, it's your time. Okay, you can click here, choose a topic, of course, about your subject, create the battle and play. And here Erasmus Plus Prof SNS Huerto, and here you have the password. So yes, I recommend you to try, okay, because you have now the possibility to try. Of course, as I say here, now is your time to go to the swimming pool, okay, to try to start with Classcraft. And okay, here you have the information. Thank you so much. Okay, so now it's Italian team who is going to continue.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to speak about escape room. I'm sharing it. Okay. Okay. Escape rooms are a game in which a team is trapped into a room. The team can get out of the room solving puzzles, quizzes, and challenges. During an escape room session, students practice their skill. For example, they must decipher clues to solve puzzles, which requires analytical skills and encourage them to think on their feet. Escape room can be created in real-life setting or in virtual ones. I decided to create a virtual escape room using the app Google Forms. My goals were to encourage teamwork, develop social skills, inclusion of people with learning disabilities, and use of historical knowledges. My escape room had been created for a class of 11 to 12 years old students. It was the final activity of their history course, so it helped them to reflect together on what they learned during the year about the Crusades and the main characteristic of the Middle Age. It was divided in 3 phases: identification, solving puzzle and quizzes, conclusion. The escape room was divided into sections, and students had to find keys to go to the next section. The keys were the answer of the puzzle or quizzes. The first phase, identification. The students were guided by a narrator, the teacher. The teacher explained the situation. In this case, the students were the temporary army. They were near the city of St. John of Acre, and they had to enter the city to defeat the Muslims and to go to the Holy Sepulchre, Jerusalem. To get near the big wall, they had to pass through a really scary wood. The wood was full of pitfalls, and the army has to overcome them. The army was divided in 5 legions, and each legion had to overcome some of this challenge. The challenge were based on different types of structured questions, for example, true or false or multiple choice. Here are some examples. The first challenge was that I created a challenge where the army was stopped by some fallen logs. To overcome this pitfall, one legion had to answer a true or false question and choose the right keys accordingly. At this point, there were 2 ways that they can continue. If the answer was wrong, they had to try again. If they answered correctly, the logs were removed, and the army can continue forward. Similarly is an example of a multiple choice question. In this situation, the army found 3 Muslim soldiers ready for battle. In order to get their own weapons, one of the legions had to find the right answer to the question. This went on until the students finished solving the puzzle and they finally arrived at the wall of St. John. During the game, the class was excited and very, very engaged. They had fun and they used historical knowledge in real context. Each group was formed by the teacher and to assure accessibility to all students. Some challenges, in fact, were included that let students with learning difficulties answer. Everybody felt involved and the class teamwork was strengthened. And I continue to use this resource a lot because it helps to memorize everything. Okay, thank you.
So thank you so much. It's very, very interesting. So now it's time to, sorry, my video. No, okay. Okay, so thank you, Simona. Okay. Now we are going to do some questions, okay? To do some for the partners. So I have a question. Do you remember for Portuguese team? Okay, about Minecraft. So what about Minecraft? It's difficult to create something. It's easy
to create something.
To create some materials for
it's
you
very,
as a teacher.
You have
it's
a lot of
easy.
subjects, like I
Okay.
showed to you. You have a lot of them, so you don't need to create too much.
Okay.
All you can think is already done, but yes, you can create easily. You just need to put some chalkboards with your questions they're going to answer. It depends on the subject that you want.
It's like a metaverse, you can say, no?
It's a what?
Like a metaverse or metaverse, something.
Yeah,
like this, no?
yeah. It's like a sandbox. They call it sandbox game because
Sandbox.
it's with nothing and you can create everything you want.
Everything, okay. And what about the students? They love it?
Of course.
Okay, well, this is very interesting. Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have more questions for Sophia about Minecraft? No,
is that for anyone?
Think about it.
Perfect. You don't need
Okay.
I do have a question.
Yes, Alvaro has a question for you.
I have many questions for
Many
Sophia,
questions.
but I'm just going to ask one. Well, first of all, Sophia, thank you very much for presenting Minecraft. It was very interesting. Muito obrigado. I just wonder, you know, you mentioned about the library. That Minecraft has a library of, you know, resources from teachers. Obviously, this is the main aim of EduPlat. At the end of the day, we want to facilitate the life of teachers that are sharing resources so that others can use the resources. Now, I just wonder how easy is to grab these resources from the Minecraft library, but also how easy is to in a way translate them to any other platform. So say, for example, a teacher that sees an interesting activity in Minecraft, can he or she use it with using another platform and not Minecraft?
Not Minecraft. Yes, I think it's better for you to use Minecraft if you want to create something, if you want to search for something. And about the library, you have a lot of subjects that you can find. It's very easy. You just need to go to the library and write what you want, and you have in the website as well. And for the teachers who don't know too much about Minecraft, you have a lot of courses that you can do free. So it's very, very easy. Okay, thanks for encouraging teachers. I mean, I'm not saying that they should not use Minecraft. What I'm saying is that sometimes I might have another activity, for example, using whatever, and then I want to incorporate that activity, but I don't want to have to use Minecraft. You know, it's like kind of the idea of having it open. Can it be translated to another? Maybe you don't know if it can be translated to another platform. No, I guess not. It depends on what you want to do. Okay. If you want to do a presentation, you can do in another place, but you really need to use Minecraft to play Minecraft. Sure, yeah. Thank you. Obrigado. Obrigado.
Okay. So Alvaro, do you have more questions for other partners? I know I have one question for you. Okay, so Simona, what about it's like a escape room, we can say that what you propose. What about the students? They love it. It's funny for, I think, I suppose, I don't know, that they speak with you, no? That I really would like to do more of this.
Yes, they waited for the escape room. It's like a reward at the end of a path, because they were really happy to have team. They were not judged. It was a way to repeat before some text on other. They changed place in the classroom, and it was very important for them. And it was like using something that they think that is useless, like historical knowledge, in a real context, like it is useful for something that is just to win and to defeat their classmate, but it was okay. They really had fun.
But it's because of that this gamification congress is the objective, no? We can say that, to learn but playing, no? Playing, learning, playing, yes. So it's because of that as teachers, I am very, very happy to share these resources, because we learn all of us about the others. So it's really, really interesting to know Minecraft, to know escape room. Yes, so I'm very, very happy. So I don't know if you have more questions, perhaps Greek team. Do you have some questions for?
May I?
Yes.
We cannot hear the question from the Greek team. Microphone, please.
Yes. Sure.
So I hope that now you can hear me loud and clear. I hope that you can hear me. Lovely. So when you're performing these activities with the students, I can really understand that there is much more engagement. But do you trust us? Have you noticed that there's also an impact on the learning outcome? Do you trust that this is also the case? Because having them engaged is always a class. It's always a nice thing to have in mind, to have an active classroom. But at the same time, do you trust that the learning outcome is as strong, or if not stronger, when you integrate these techniques in your learning, in your training format?
I noticed that they were really useful for learning, because I tried to do before, during the, like in the middle of the year, and then I tried to do it before a test without telling them anything, and the results were different. The results were totally different, because they memorized without anxiety. They didn't even know, but they know more about that. Obviously, with this game, just dates and something like these, they were not, they didn't improve their ability to write and something like that, or to express historical knowledge, but they understand in a better way the connection between events and dates, and what becomes before and what becomes after. So for me, it was really, really useful. Yes. And for them.
Yeah, so we despite the problem, we also have facts that it works on the, and it impacts the learning outcome as well. And it's not only a tool in order to make them more, to make the course more appealing.
No. No.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you have more questions, Greek team, to with the presentation? And no, you have. Perhaps you would you like to share something, or do you use this? Do you use, I don't know, Minecraft or the escape room or Classcraft? Did you know about it?
Yeah,
yes.
There are most of the times in the Greek framework, they're being used like as a small pilot implementation, and it's not like officially integrated into the learning procedures, and that's quite unfortunate. Since you always have the obligation to perform certain courses with a certain content,
yes,
and sometimes that is what drives the procedures, and you don't have much time in order to experiment. So you use these techniques as a complementary attribute, or like an extra thing, sometimes as a pilot implementation, but not as a core element during the learning procedure, which is quite unfortunate, because we just said, and we just underpinned that they also have an impact on the learning outcome for the students.
Yes. For example, in my case, I can say that, and I think that is all the Minecraft, all the resources that we have already spoken. I think that is very important to use, no? Because, for example, Classcraft, you can, when I started with Classcraft 3 years ago, for example, to correct, I am a French teacher, no? For example, so I started with, in pandemic, period, I have started with a passé composé, verb things, with only one time with this, and they loved it, and they told me, okay, Eduardo, when I corrected something without Classcraft, they demanded me, but is for Classcraft or not? So if it was for Classcraft, it's like this, 25 people, and if it wasn't for Classcraft, it's like this, no hands. So it's okay, so I'm going to use Classcraft for all. So for example, for revise the exam, for demand them I use flipped classroom, okay? So all the weeks, if I'm going to demand them, okay, now I'm going to know if you have studied or not, with Classcraft, of course. Okay, just make it easier. So you can see that we can use with in French, of course, but in maths, in language, and it's the same thing with Minecraft or with escape room. I think that it's very important for us as teachers that we can do whatever we want, but with all the materials that we have to have in the exam or something like this, but with funny resources, no? Because we are in the 2023, no? So we can't teach as 2 centuries ago, no? It's not possible. So I think that is very, very interesting to use this kind of materials. Yes. I don't know if you have more questions or more. I don't know. No. Alvaro, I think that you have more questions. No, you have a lot of questions for the partners. No,
I have many questions, but the team that really would like to ask questions first is the Greek team. Their presentation was so fast that I didn't notice it. I didn't get to write many things about the presentation of the Greek team. It might have been so fast that I didn't notice it.
No, but it's now the Greek's presentation. Yes, you are going to start now, no? Yes? Okay. So
when that's right.
Hello all. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Hi, nice meeting you all. It's really nice that I'm taking part in this conference. I am Konstantina. Nice seeing everyone. I have prepared a short presentation regarding the teaching of physics in terms of gamification in class. Of course, I would take you a little back, you know, a little few years ago. In terms of the elements and terminology of gamification, of course, one of the main characteristics of gamification is that it uses the elements that prior and previous colleagues have already identified. When we talk about the game components, in terms of game characteristics, in terms of game mechanics, in the terms and under the light that a designer uses to create an engaging experience similar to a game. So having studied and having, trying to search through the references back in 2011, I came across a paper from the Turding and its team that suggested and defined specifically 5 different levels of the design of such game elements for the gamification of the teaching. So basically, number 1 as a priority are the needed templates for a game design, like, when you have already, as you have already presented regarding medals, regarding points, regarding standards, rankings. So this is a first priority, is a first clue to include the game attitude towards teaching and learning. Another main point is the second one, which is about the game standards as defined. Let's say in a few words, the game rules, like time constraints or resource constraints or round constraints in terms of the participants. And the third point is the principles to be clearly defined in the game to be designed and to be implemented. First of all, to have a clear objective and a clear goal of the game. The fourth one regards about the game models, like, for instance, if within the game there is challenge, if there is the curiosity needed, the imagination of the game creator and also of the game participants. And last but not least, the specified game design methods, how we will make the game, the lessons within the game framework to be interesting actually, and to include as many of the above mentioned elements as possible. So yes, basically one thing that actually helps a lot from at least the scenarios that have been tested in classroom is these four elements. The children get the idea, and also of course the teacher, when trying the game, that there is freedom in error. The feedback is honestly immediate. There is a live process in this procedure. The updates are there regarding the progress, and of course, the main idea and the main characteristic is that through this game we are telling a story, and everyone is a part of this story. So, I personally have used and tested in classroom a specific application of gamification in 3rd grade physics. So basically, in 3rd grade, we the first main objective that we came along and children need to learn is about electricity, for example, here in Greece. So basically, the idea is to engage the students to through the technology that they are using, and for instance, computers, their mobiles, etc., to properly use those elements of computer use to explore and identify the lesson specifically for physics. The students in my lessons are used to use their computers either individually or in games, in groups. So this is a first tool, a first priority that I wanted to try. So how I do the teaching? As a first part in its lesson, a group of students, as decided, of course, with my support, they take on the task of preparing the delivery for the next lesson. The purpose for this is that the students, having already identified and getting in the process of understanding the lesson and the task that they need to carry out, they have their own knowledge, their own thinking, their own perception to their peers, to their fellow students.
Sorry. The PowerPoint doesn't work. Yes. We are teaching physics with gamification all the time. Yes. 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 I don't know if you are sharing the screen, but we don't see now, I think. Yes. If you can try another time to share your screen, because by the time it's not possible to see. Okay. Now it's perfect.
Great. So, yes, I was saying that in its lesson, the group of students need to prepare the task for the delivery of the next lesson, and basically the idea is for them to have their own perception and share their own knowledge on how they have tried to explain and identify at their age to their peers in an interesting way, in an original way, since they refer to students of the same age as they are. So, as a second part, after this, the idea is to create a real life discussion within the classroom, that there are questions that have arisen, there are possible problems that have been already identified from students to students. And of course, again, through the coordination of the discussion, the idea is to solve such problems. The idea is to answer the questions that have been arisen. The third part, and specifically for the electricity section that I already mentioned, is to have the students practice on an individual level. Each one wants to make circuits, electrical circuits that use the FET application, which is an application, a web browser-based application provided by the Greek Ministry of Education here. So it is a web application that has specific images. It is interactive. The students can create this studied or the ones that we actually need to test after the discussion and the problems identified there. So it is an application really user-friendly, really easy to go, really easy to get along. Create the puzzle, and you just put the different elements of the circuits in on the dashboard. The children test it. The children individually see what they can understand from, where the carry, what is the current, what are the other elements. So basically, they design. After that, after they have practiced on their own and they understand what the circuit does, the application according to the number of students, according to the difficulty level, according to the best potential division of groups. And they are given an instruction to create a circuit. First of all, for example, it can be to create a similar one that they had already tested. A second stage would be to create another one after as an upgrade or to try and test a similar circuit. They will have to think about it. They will have to take into consideration what has been discussed. They will have to design it in the application and present it. And also where this is, the first part of the gamification, because at the same time, later on, it is the most, at least, interesting part from my side, and what I have seen so far is that they, after with their bodies, meaning they are asked to take some roles. For instance, one can be the lamp, one can be the capacitor, one can be just the current, and actually with their bodies, their arms, their way of connecting, they simulate the circuit. And this is actually more experiential and a more live, experimental way and fun way, because they what the functionality is and what the role within the circuit is. So basically, one could say that it is 50% of technological interference regarding computers, regarding the programs and the platforms used, and at the same time, it is actually like having a theatrical play where everyone afterwards can take their part as a role within the circuit and recreate what is being done. So basically, this is an example. Of course, we try, and I personally try to use similar scenarios with other sections of the physics, at least specifically for the third grade, for instance, with light, for instance, with the physics of light, the mechanics as well. So basically, it's a 50-50% of procedure. So this was my presentation. I would like to thank everyone for taking a chance to see what I have to present, and thank you very much for giving me the chance to be a part. Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you so much. I have really loved your presentation. I would like to know the application is like PET, no, something that you use for in order to create the circuit.
Yes.
The name is PET, no?
PET.
PET, okay.
Yes.
And it's paid by the Greek government? Is
yes,
like this?
It is. I hope you can. Yes, you can hear me.
You can show us a little bit the application. I don't know if it's a website or no.
It is from the Greek government. It is a web-based application from the Greek ministry, so it is a free one. Let us try and check if
perhaps
we can
to send in the chat, perhaps, okay, it will be very interesting. Yes. And what about the circuits? Are difficult for the students, or with the application it works well?
Find the application really interesting because it's easier for the puzzle, because they get the experience from their own, that I have one missing part, this is it, I have already identified it. I have a second part, this is already identified. So yes, the idea is that I can create the circuit that you have already explained to me. And this is, it brings them up front, and they are able to create what they have already understood. Yes. And this is the main point, is that beforehand, as I already presented, they are divided, and they have to explain at first, one student to another fellow student of the same age, how they have understood what they are going to build. And of course, this discussion initiates, the physical based questions. So basically, they try with their own perception and their own knowledge to create as such. And they to answer, of course, those problems, and later on they feel more confident and able to create what they have already understood. So it is a more want, to everything to be written down. This way brings a barrier. It brings an obstacle. So, and especially for physics or maths or stuff like that, that people, at least at these ages, are not really. They do not feel really comfortable to learn. They feel, that this is like a foreign language, something that they need to better understand. So it is such subjects like maths, biology, physics, chemistry. It is something that it gets helped a lot by such tools.
This is very interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
You have some questions for them? Yes. Would you like to speak something? Yes. Okay. Of course.
So just one question from my side: how difficult it is in a subject like that, which is because in the previous conference that we had the opportunity to attend, we were speaking also about the foreign language course, which is much more easy to integrate such techniques. When we're speaking about physics, we're speaking about something that's not so easy to integrate such techniques into the teaching method. Do you find helpful from your side? Is it a tool for engagement, or do you also find that it is helping in a multiple context?
It is a more helpful tool in general, because people imagine, like, for example, what happened when we got to know Angry Birds. This is the first actually idea and the first game that showed that children were interested eventually to start to understand mechanics, which is not about calculating functions. It is not about calculating numbers. It's about trying to perceive and understand in the core of it what is need to be done in order to achieve the target. Something similar like that is the platform like this that offers the same for electricity, for instance, because electricity is even more vague than mechanics for students. So basically, if they have the idea and the tool to put their hands on something, even virtually, it helps them more. They feel that it is a more friendly way, and not just trying directly to solve problems, equations, and something like that. So it's a more experiential way. Yeah, thank you.
So we have some questions in the chat. I see, for example, yes, Teresa say if it sounds is a bit messy. You can see in the chat, it sounds is a bit messy.
Probably because of the microphone. We will just do it without the microphone.
Okay, so no problem. And the other, Thomas, does it have a narrative, this gamification?
Regarding the circuits, yes. Everyone, when we divide the roles, actually, and after the circuit is identified per task, the children, of course, with my help, they decide which part of the circuit they want to be. So basically, one can act as a capacitor, one can act as a resistance, one can act as the lamp, one can act as the power source. So basically, when they move around with their bodies, and when they hold hands, for instance, to make the circuit, they try to imitate the role of what a capacitor would do, of when the current would pass, if the current would pass. So basically, the narrative is to recreate with their bodies where the current will go. Like, for instance, when they can use their hands, and they can unfold their hands if the current does not go that way, because it cannot. So this was the idea of actually to create something more of theatrical at the same time, and a role play regarding the part of the circuit, while having used it a digital tool.
So thank you so much.
Yes.
I don't know if you have more questions.
We have managed actually to share with
you. Yes, the website.
We're about to share the screen. Can you see it? Yes. So as you can see, yes. So there are the elements. You can see the cable. You can see.
Yes. There, but yes. If you can try another time, yes, because. Okay.
Can you see it now?
I think now, yes.
Great. So this is just a short example here, you know, just putting around cables. You can see the negative ones for the particles. You can see the resistance. It's in Greek, but okay. And one can actually put the elements, you know, with their hands. There is the switch. You can create whatever circuits you want. Actually, can we post the link within the chat so that everyone can have the chance to experience, because the screen is lagging a bit. So let me just could you please stop sharing? Sorry, we can put it in the chat. We can put it in the chat.
Yes, sorry, you are going to send, no, in the chat?
The link for this.
Yes, if it is okay, it's perfect, because I'm going to share. I would like to share with our
technological
teachers, because it's really interesting. Yes, really, because all the times it's like they try to build something with their hands, and it's difficult.
And it is not always an easy case to have access to real laboratories. I don't know what the situation is in other countries, but in many schools in Greece, it is not necessarily to have, you know, an existing electrical or similar laboratory to every school. So we try to manage and see with our tools like this, for instance, and it's also more cost efficient at the same time, and the children get to play, which is the important here. Great.
So I don't know if you have Italian people, do you have some questions, or Portuguese people?
I have one question.
Yes, Francesco, okay.
Yes, I am.
Francesco, my friend, how are you? Yes, you. When you want, you can just tell us your question.
Yes, I wonder here how we can integrate content and language integrated learning with the gamification integration. There are two levels of integration from what I can see from this game we have just seen concerning a specific content. It's not easy. I wonder how we can integrate all these things together. Who could answer this question? Who has an idea of how we can face these problems? Alessandra, what do you think of?
Are you talking about integrating language learning in the games that the
yes
have shared with us? I believe that with Minecraft, it's possible to integrate language learning because you can build a narrative. I think that Sophia has explained that there is the shipwreck mode, and the students can write the story of how the ship sunk, and they can play it. I know that some publishers, like, for example, Cambridge, have also Minecraft games where they integrate the teaching of languages in playing this game. At least for Minecraft, I think that it is possible to do that, and students love it. The other ideas that were presented by the other teams, I don't know, probably they can answer better than I do.
So storytelling can help us to do this as well.
Yes.
Storytelling,
and I think that students feel much more motivated to write, for example, than if you just ask them to pick a pencil and a sheet of paper to start writing a story, because they are playing a game and they are interacting. So I think it's good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, Alvaro, do you have some questions for the Greek's presentation?
I do, but Margarita's got her hand up. So let's, Margarita, if you want to ask questions, please.
It was to answer. that with the students of languages, you can do a lot of things. So storytelling is perfect, and it's all about motivation. And as much activities as you bring to the class, the better the students will talk. So yeah, gamification for languages is the best.
Okay, thanks, Margarita. So I'll just continue with a few questions. I do have many questions. I love questions. I have a question for every single team, but I'm going to start with the last one presenting with Constantina. I love your presentation. I used to teach physics. I have a degree in theoretical physics. I've been doing many things in my life. I love learning and I love teaching. So physics is one of the subjects that I've taught. And I found it very interesting how to use physics with very little budget, because at the end of the day, teaching physics involves sometimes buying equipment that many schools cannot afford. And now with programs like the one you presented, students can get hands-on equipment that is actually very, very cheap, if not free. So thanks for giving us that link. Now my question is, you're talking about third grade. How old are students in third grade in Greece?
In 13 to 14 maximum.
13 to 14. Okay, so that's a very interesting age. I don't know students in Athens, but students in Spain and in many places where I've taught in a few countries in Europe, students that age, you tell them your first task is to deliver the next lesson. And in my case, the students I've had, they would go wild. I don't know how much they will do. So I wonder how you manage to get students in Athens that are probably going to be as wild as students in many other places in Europe, if they are 13 years old, to think about what they want to do in the next lesson that is actually constructive, that is not just, let's damage the furniture of the room.
No, you're right on that. I do believe that the age is similar to everywhere, every country on the planet. So you're right on that. So basically, if at least, for us living in the city, it is clear to them that we're going to use, first, something that you are really used to do and play. Everyone plays at this age on his or on her computer. So they know from a priori that they are going to use a tool that they know, first of all. I try to make the discussion really interesting by, first of all, having a few minutes from my side to explain what we are going to do, to be clear. So, and afterwards, I ask, and most of the times it's not that difficult actually to engage them in a play within the classroom that is really alive, with the promise that they're not going to write everything down, that they are not going to be examined for every sentence I say. So basically, we start by expressing a promise that the play will be the ultimate goal. And they engage, most of the times really willingly, but at the same time, they decide to take part. So to fully answer your question, the idea is to promise and realize in the end that they're going to use their computers, and afterwards we're going to, demonstrate a play.
Thank you, Evgaristo. But you quite haven't answered my question. So yes, with what you're saying is really good. So basically, you motivate the students to participate and to be, to behave by telling them, hey, you guys, you're going to have fun while you're having this lesson. And this goes to pretty much everything we do in gamification. That's really, really good. Exactly. But The question is specifically about how do they know what's going to happen next? Because, you know, eventually when you start, when they learn more about, say, for example, electricity, the topic that you had, maybe they can say, yes, we have, like, say, for example, two resistance in parallel, then we can calculate the resistance this way. But if they don't know that, how do they manage to, they might not even know that they have to connect in different ways. They might not know that it's possible to connect them in parallel, in series, in any other combination.
It is as you say, it is a combination of teaching. The whole classroom, you know, let's say you have a 50 minutes of classroom. It's not necessarily to begin, you know, by taking up hands directly to the game. I need 15, 20, maximum 20 minutes to discuss with them, to make the lesson, to explain what we're going to do, to ask and to describe what the subject is. And later on, you know, it is a division of time. So there are specific stages within the lesson and how it goes. So it's not, you know, like they are forced to do something without knowing what they're doing. It is a first step of explanation, of taking, let's say, explaining the lesson traditionally, if I could use, you know, this terminology, and later on introduce the next level.
Okay, now it all makes more sense. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Constantina. So basically, before task 1, you do task 0, which is the teachers to tell them, you know, the rules of the game and what's going to happen and the elements that you're going to be including in the experience. Perfect. Now it makes more sense. Now they can still go wild, but at least they will probably know that they can also do nice things with it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alvaro.
Okay. So I don't know if you have more questions. No. Perhaps because at 12 o'clock we continue, no, with the other timetables. So if there are no questions, Alvaro, if you agree with me, perhaps we can do a little break.
Yeah, that's really good. I just want to say, I want to give some suggestions for what to do during the break. I know a break is meant to be, you know, relaxing your brain and everything, but I have a few suggestions. And the one will be for everyone, and that includes not just the speakers, but everyone listening to these, you know, explanations about all of these resources, will be to think about one thing that you've learned during this roundtable, and post it on your favorite social media. So say, for example, if you think, I really liked, and please don't copy the same, I really like the fact that with very little equipment, you can teach physics and electricity, and with a hands-on experiment that is equivalent to having the proper circuits. So I would post this on my favorite social media, that is Twitter. You guys can choose whatever you want, and ideally tag the person that somehow you know, publish that, if you know. And there are many posts in all the EduPlat social media. So if you manage to find the person that has been you know, sharing this resource, and you can refer to this person, even better. If not, because some of the speakers don't have all the social media, just put the names, or you know, just say someone in the Greek team, and someone probably in this case in the Greek team will manage to get that post and eventually tag the right person and the right speaker. So that's for everyone. Please try to post in your favorite social media something that you've learned during this roundtable. If you have more than one from different speakers, then go ahead and do that. And another thing is important that that you all do is, if you haven't shared with your team leaders the link to your resource, please do that eventually. And this is for the speakers. Okay, say for example, again, Constantina shared in the chat the link to this wonderful educational resource. I put in the chat of the YouTube for others that are not there. Eventually, it's going to be in the social media, but we need to have this all, you know, together. Team Portugal especially is in charge of testing. The different teachers are going to be testing these resources. So it's very, very important that you all make sure that your team leader has the link to that. So say, for example, in Spain, Paula was getting all these links. In Greece, you can just say, for example, EduPlat-E1-GR-EduPlat's@gmail.com, and the same in all the other teams. So please make sure that your team leaders have these links, and obviously team leaders, please publish this link in the share file so that we can all have access to that. So it is now 15 minutes of a break. Yeah, thank you. And we're going to disconnect from the YouTube channel, and obviously we're going to disconnect eventually from the Zoom channel. And at 12 o'clock, this is in Athens. Remember, 11 o'clock in Spain or Italy, 10 o'clock in Portugal. We're going to reconnect directly with the language channels. So if you come here, I will be here because I will be presenting in the English channel, but you will be redirected to one of the Skype channels, whether it's Portuguese, Greek, Italian, or Spanish. So remember, you can do that. Go into the eduplat.org website. All the links are there. If you don't know how to get there, then again, you can also send an email to your team leaders. And remember, when you register, you had you had an email to contact from EduPlat. You can just send an email to them, and then team leaders, please make sure that you reply these emails of people that are a bit lost. Somebody asked just now, English here in right where you are. If you're in Zoom, stay in Zoom. If you are if you are in YouTube, stay in the YouTube. Okay. Although we're going to disconnect the YouTube, we will be reconnecting again, and you can just access the YouTube channel in exactly the same way as you did before. Okay. And I would just like to have eventually, please disconnect, take a break. I would just like to have a quick word with team leaders. So if you can just stay a couple of minutes, especially those of you who are there in Greece, just to make sure some adjustments about a few items that need to be sorted out quickly. Okay. Everyone else, thank you. And we'll see each other in now 13 minutes. They're looking